Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to get into a book that's been a total game changer for so many people. It's The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest. And trust me, its core message is going to change the way you think about what's holding you back.
And this quote, this is the entire idea right here. It totally flips the script on what we think of as a struggle. The book argues that the biggest, scariest mountains we face aren't, out there in the world. They are in here. The whole journey is about mastering yourself.
I mean, this line just hits you, right? It gets straight to the heart of that feeling we all know so well, that feeling of being stuck. When you know what you want, but for some reason you just can't seem to get there. Well, it turns out the biggest obstacle is often staring back at us in the mirror. All right, so let's dig in. First, we've got to understand what this mountain we're all facing actually is. Because, spoiler alert, it's probably not what you think. The book makes this really brilliant distinction. See, on one hand, you have circumstantial problems. That's just life. A flat tire, a tough project at work. But then you've got chronic problems. The same issue that keeps popping up over and over again, maybe with different people or in different situations. That recurring pattern, that's your mountain. And you know that moment when you feel like you've hit absolute rock bottom? When your old ways of coping just completely stop working? Well, according to the book, that's not a failure. That's actually the starting line. It's the moment of collapse right before a massive breakthrough. This is where the real work begins. Okay, now we're getting to what might be the most powerful and maybe even radical idea in the whole book. We're about to completely reframe how we think about our own self-sabotage. So get this, self-sabotage is not you trying to hurt yourself. It's not a flaw. It's actually your subconscious mind trying to meet a deep unmet need in a really, really clumsy way. It's not a bug, it's a feature, a very misunderstood one. And you can see the difference right here. The common view is that we do it because we lack willpower or don't like ourselves. We beat ourselves up for it. But the book's insight? It's a total 180. It's actually a form of self-protection, a coping mechanism that probably worked for you at one point, but now it's just holding you back. There's this amazing story about Carl Jung. When he was a kid, he hated school so much that he started developing these random fainting spells. He realized later that it was his mind's way of protecting him, of getting him out of a situation he found unbearable. His behavior served a purpose. And guess what? Ours do too. So, if these behaviors are just a weird form of protection, the goal isn't to fight them head-on. That never works. The goal is to become a detective. It's time to decode these actions and figure out what they're really trying to tell us. And here are some classic examples. Perfectionism isn't about wanting things to be perfect. It's a symptom of a deep fear of being judged. Always being busy, that's a great way to avoid feeling what you don't want to feel. Every single one of these behaviors is just a sign pointing to something much deeper. So this is the key takeaway, right? You can't solve the problem by just trying to stop the behavior. That's like taking a cough drop for pneumonia. It's not going to work. You have to go to the source and address the unfulfilled need that's driving the whole thing. Okay, so how do we find out what those needs are? Well, the book says the answers are hiding in plain sight. Our emotional triggers, the things that set us off, they're not obstacles. They're actually our greatest guides. They're the map. Instead of running from these feelings, we've got to learn to listen to them. Anger isn't just you being angry. It's a giant red flag telling you a boundary has been crossed. And jealousy? Man, that's not just some petty emotion. It is a giant, flashing neon sign pointing directly at what your soul truly desires. These feelings are just data. All right, so we get it now. We understand the why. So how do we actually fix it? This final part is all about putting this knowledge into action and achieving true self-mastery. And let's be real, this is the final boss battle, isn't it? The biggest challenge isn't that we can't do it, it's that we're addicted to comfort. Our brains are wired to choose what's familiar, even if what's familiar is making us miserable. The secret is learning to act based on your goals, not your temporary feelings. So here it is, the path forward. Step 1, get curious. Ask yourself, what is this behavior really doing for me? Step 2, allow yourself to feel the discomfort. When you stop the self-sabotage, the feeling you were avoiding is gonna show up. Let it. That's the only way through. And step 3, maybe the most important, act before you feel ready. Motivation doesn't just appear out of nowhere. You generate it through action. And that brings us to the final powerful question the book leaves us with. See, the person you've been up until now can't take you to where you want to go. Overcoming your mountain isn't about tweaking the old you, it's about becoming someone entirely new. So the real question isn't what mountain you'll conquer, but who you will become in the process.